The workshop hummed with the familiar sound of plasma welders and hydraulic lifts. Elsa wiped the grease from her hands, studying the damaged human vessel that had limped into Station Verathun 3 cycles ago. The ship was a wreck, hull breaches on 4 decks, life support failing, and an engine core that should have detonated days ago but somehow hadn't. Humans, she muttered, her 4 optical sensors adjusting to examine the craft's undercarriage. The Varakesh were known across 7 systems as the finest engineers and mechanics in the galaxy. Their precise, methodical nature made them invaluable in the repair stations that dotted the trade routes. Elsa had fixed thousands of ships, but human vessels always puzzled her. They were built wrong, inefficiently. Components placed where they shouldn't be, redundancies upon redundancies, and safety systems that seemed designed by someone who expected everything to fail simultaneously. "Hey, anyone here?" a voice called from the airlock. Elsa's translator clicked as it processed the human language. She turned to see a young human male stepping into the bay, his brown hair matted with sweat, wearing a torn pressure suit that looked like it had been patched a dozen times. "I am Elsa, senior mechanic. You are the vessel's operator." "Alex, yeah, that's my ship, the Defiant." "Is she salvageable?" Elsa's neck frill rippled in what humans might interpret as a shrug. "Perhaps. Your species builds their vessels in ways that defy standard engineering principles. I must ask. This panel here." She gestured to a sealed compartment near the engine core. "Why is it locked with a biometric seal and wrapped in warning tape?" Alex's face went pale. "Oh, don't take it off. The panel must be removed to access the fuel regulators. They are damaged. Trust me," Alex said, moving closer. "You don't want to open that." Elsa's translator struggled with the human's tone. Was it fear? Embarrassment? "I have been repairing vessels for 32 standard cycles. I must access—" "Please." Alex held up his hands. "Just work around it. I'm begging you." Something in the human's expression made Elsa pause. In all her years, she had never seen such genuine concern from a client about a simple access panel. But she was Varakesh. She was professional. She was curious. "I will proceed with the repairs," she said finally. Over the next 2 days, Elsa worked on the Defiant. Each discovery deepened her confusion. The ship had taken damage that should have killed everyone aboard. A plasma burn had melted through 3 decks but stopped just centimeters from the crew quarters. An explosion had destroyed the primary oxygen recycler, but a backup system, hidden behind a false wall and not on any schematic, had activated automatically, and that sealed panel. It gnawed at her. On the 3rd day, Alex had to leave the station for a cargo negotiation. Elsa stood before the panel, her tools ready. The biometric lock was crude by Varakesh standards. The warning tape was faded, reading, "Emergency only, seriously, don't be stupid." Her curiosity overwhelmed her professionalism. The lock clicked open. The panel swung wide. Elsa stared. Her optical sensors widened, then widened further. Her translator made a sound it had never made before, a glitch of pure incomprehension. Inside the panel was not a fuel regulator. It was not a control system. It was a mass of wires, tubes, and components that should not exist in the same space. A manual hand pump connected to the fuel line. A literal mechanical bell with a string attached to the fire suppression system. 3 different backup batteries duct taped together. A handwritten note reading, "If this breaks, hit it with a wrench." And a photograph of Alex with an older human woman, smiling, tucked into the wiring with a caption, "Mom, this is why I always make it home." But that wasn't what made Elsa's translator glitch. At the center of it all was a modified emergency system that bypassed every safety protocol. If the ship lost power, if life support failed, if the engine went critical, this chaotic tangle of improvised engineering would keep the crew alive. It would burn every reserve, strip every non-essential system, and somehow maintain life support for an extra 72 hours. It was held together with wire, hope, and something the Varakesh had no word for. Elsa reached deeper, trying to understand the connections. Her manipulator touched a wire. Something sparked. A chain reaction began, not dangerous but informative. Systems activated, showing her the full scope of what she was seeing. The entire ship was like this, layers upon layers of improvised failsafes, hidden backups for the backups, manual overrides for automated systems. Alex hadn't just maintained this ship. He had loved it. Every repair was a conversation, every modification a promise. I will bring you home. You will bring me home. Elsa's translator finally found a word in the human database. Hope. Her hands trembled. She carefully closed the panel, but the damage was done. She understood now. Human ships didn't follow engineering principles because human engineering wasn't about efficiency. It was about survival at any cost. It was about refusing to die when the universe said you should. When Alex returned, he found Elsa sitting beside his ship, her forearms folded. You opened it, he said quietly. I did. And? Elsa stood, her voice carrying a reverence the translator struggled to convey. Your species. You do not build ships to be perfect. You build them to refuse death. Alex smiled sadly. We call it good enough. We know our stuff breaks. The universe wants us dead, but we're too stubborn to listen. I have repaired your vessel, Elsa said, but I left your panel untouched. I understand now. That compartment is not engineering, it is something more. Yeah, Alex nodded. It's a promise. As the Defiant limped out of the station 3 days later, its engines burning brighter than they should, Elsa watched it go. She had dropped her tools in horror when she opened that panel, not because what she saw was terrible, but because it was impossible. And yet it worked. That was humanity. Impossible, stubborn, and somehow always surviving. Elsa returned to her workshop, but she would never see engineering the same way again. The Varakesh built perfectly. Humans built to survive. And in a cruel universe, sometimes survival mattered more than perfection. Die.